Moikka!
Hey! Welcome to our podcast, Mastering Finland. I'm Jean and I'm from California.
I'm Petra and I'm from the Czech Republic.
We're here to chat about our life in Finland.
Hi Jean!
Hey Petra! So what's on the agenda today?
So I was thinking, firstly, we could talk about these classic first impressions about Finland that are well known.
Yes, I have so much to say.
Yes,
it's
start,
fun.
please.
Okay, well, it's important to know that I, before coming to Finland, was teaching at an international school in China.
Yeah.
And just the environment is very different.
Like what specifically?
The population. We'll start there. This is in no way saying one is better or worse. Yeah. This is just my experience and how that affected my first impression of Finland. So yeah, the population and seriously just everything.
So you came here and you were just shocked by the fact it's empty.
I was so relaxed and it just felt, I remember posting a picture on Facebook saying this is my promised land, because seriously my soul just felt so relaxed and I just felt I just loved the sound of silence and it just felt so good. It was like balm on my soul.
Yeah, I mean that's the best part probably, because most of the places that you can live in Finland are somewhat close to forest.
Exactly, yes. Which isn't true in big cities, not just in China and any other countries.
Even in Helsinki, right now we're in Helsinki, and if I walk 10 minutes, I am on an island where there's just a forest.
It's crazy.
And if I walk past by here, there's just park around the corner.
Yeah, that's amazing.
There's it's tiny little forest, but they really push it.
Yeah, and I love that they are trying to preserve it. They know it's just something that should be treasured. Yeah. And I think Jyväskylä was I'm sure I'm butchering the pronunciation. I'm really trying. But Jyväskylä is a smaller city than Helsinki. Yeah. So
I think it's the 6th biggest city in Finland, though. Yeah.
You still get that vibe. Yeah. Very much so. Yeah. Very much so than in Helsinki.
Yeah.
So that was my first impression of Finland.
That's a good impression, actually.
It was.
It's not bad.
It was so nice. But yeah, what about you? What was your first impression?
I don't really remember because, as I said in a previous episode, I was here for the first time when I was 16. Yeah. Which is quite a while ago. But I remember that, we came here and everything looked very differently. Also the architecture, also the nature part of it. But at the same time, also the Finnish people. Because at that point, especially in that city called Pori, on the eastern coast of Finland, there were no immigrants there. So it was genuinely just blonde people, with this tiny tonttu noses. Tonttu is this little Christmas dwarf or whatever it is that they love. And it's a cute thing, but they have these pointy upgoing noses. If you notice that.
Oh, I need
it's
to
just a thing.
Pay attention to noses.
It's just a thing. So most of pure Finnish blood.
Really?
If I say it this way. But actually, I remember I saw gypsies for the first time. But the point is that in Czech we have these gypsies, they might have darker color, but otherwise there is no difference. But here they were wearing these white skirts. Yeah. These traditional gypsies, and I was shocked. Yeah. Because I've never seen that. Maybe in some movies or whatever. But that was the only difference I saw in whole Finland at that point. Yeah. But I guess that's the first things. But I was really excited, and I remember we visited quite a few places and going around, and it's just the nature was just amazing. Yeah. Lakes are everywhere, forests is everywhere, and it's just simply really, really good.
Yeah, and Finland has thousands of lakes and forests, so
it's just beautiful. Yeah. So if you are a person who loves nature,
this would be your place.
This is probably your place, and if you can handle being in silent places and you're not really that big of a fan of big cities. Yes. Here, even if you live in Helsinki, it might be a bit worse, but otherwise all the other cities are quite calm and everything. Yeah. Okay, what else? Well, there is this, there is this different memes about Finnish people, right? And what's typical in Finland is quite funny. The one that I can think of now is when people, and it's really happening in real life, which is the funniest part of it. Yeah. That you go to bus stop and people,
I know what you're gonna say.
They are stood like 1 meter from each other.
Yes.
And they like cover the whole like 6 meter long bus stop just with 6 people.
It's true, yeah.
Because it's just how it works. And it's quite funny because you get used to it and then you follow that.
Totally.
And then if someone gets close to you,
you're like back off.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Arm's length. Get away from me.
Exactly. So that's another like one thing that I can think of right now that is a bit odd.
Yeah.
But you get really used to it.
Now that you do. The personal space part, I completely... Totally easy. I love it. Like, totally easy to adapt to.
Yeah.
Because
and also buses,
who doesn't love personal space?
Buses is great. So you have a big chance that nobody's going to sit next to you.
Oh,
if you sit on a bus because they want the seats for themselves.
Exactly. And I don't think this is anything like... This is just... It's nothing personal. That's the thing. Yeah. But yeah, I also want a seat to myself, honestly. Yeah.
And I think... I also heard that they have even a benches, just one person seat bench.
Oh, no.
So you wouldn't get disturbed by anybody else. Just in case somebody would want to sit next to you.
Okay, I'll be honest. Sometimes maybe it'll be a little too much.
Extreme, but yeah, it's quite...
Like, sometimes I found myself... I remember just, like, wanting a hug. Like, sometimes it got to that point where I'm just like, of course, yes, I had friends here, but especially when it was dark and cold and just those months where you're just in the lowest of the lows, you just, like, seriously just want to hug someone or, like, lay your head on someone's shoulder. Like, so...
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's another part.
And con.
Yeah, that's another part of Finland. I think we should have a whole episode on... about these crazy differences on, like, dark and cold and warm and...
So much
like,
to talk about there.
Super, you know... like long hours of flight.
And how that affects you and everything.
So I guess this probably is for another episode. Yes. We would be here forever describing all these stuff.
We'll save that material, yeah.
One interesting thing I can think of now is like so many Finnish people ask me why did I move here because it's so cold and expensive.
Yes, everyone's like, why would you come here?
So Finnish people, even themselves, they are like, oh yeah, it's so cold and expensive. But I feel that they really are a bit privileged. Not in the, like, I don't mean to be mean right now, but they have so much of advantage over even people from Europe, other countries.
It's very different here.
Yeah. Of course, this part of this darkness is there. And it's because, you know, unfortunately it's in this northern part of Europe and it happens when you're there. Yeah. Like, unfortunately you can't move your country. This is not how the world works.
Not really.
But, like, I think they're lucky that they built this, you know, culture and this way of, like, social system and how the, like, life works here.
Yeah.
That it makes it more easy to see this part, like, oh yeah, it's expensive. Oh yeah, it is expensive. And it's for sure expensive, and I know that.
Yeah.
But I feel like these high taxes and everything, it pays off.
Yeah, and we'll probably also have to talk about another episode also, but, like, the social benefits they get here are basically, it's pretty much impossible to fail here. If you're a Finnish citizen, it's impossible to be homeless.
Yeah. But, well, we as a foreigners, we have different lives.
For us, it is possible to be homeless.
For us, it's probably possible.
Very possible.
Really leave the country and get off. Yeah. So these are the big topics that we probably need to talk about into depth individually. Why do we think it's good to move to Finland and why not? To be, like, a bit on the point and, like, state reasons.
Yeah.
Now, when you lived here, right? So we said already that there is a nature and there's a silence part. Yeah. Anything else that is, like, really good about Finland that you would, like, push it on somebody? Like,
honestly,
move there?
I feel like if you had asked me this when I first came here, I could have told you things a lot more things and a lot more confidently. But having lived here 2 years and just seeing both the positive and negatives, intensely so.
Yeah.
It's really hard for me to say. But apart from nature, I think that's, like, been consistently something that I have always been able to turn to and something I can confidently say I enjoy. And I guess the silence, and I don't just mean, like, the silence of nature, but also how there isn't so much a pressure to socialize. Like, I'm kind of an introvert, and I know Finnish people are stereotyped as introverts, and I'm sure it's not true for everyone, but I think I get that vibe from the people, so it just feels calming.
I really like the point that they are very specific, and they don't go around about stuff like, you know, just to kind of please you. They are very honest. Sometimes even painfully honest. Because you are like, oh, dude, you've now crossed the line of being polite, but okay. Like, not going around, but I like that.
Yeah.
I prefer this direct approach of being. So there is no like, oh yeah, like, you know, you're probably, especially now I can think of just Americans.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna bring
Sorry.
it up. That's okay.
And there's
we're
this,
used to it.
How are you and how are you doing? All this weird stuff, and you're not literally interested in that.
That's true, but also yes. I think there is less small talk here, which was something else that we were informed about, is that Finnish people do not like small talk. But I took that information and then I was like, okay, but how do I start talking to them? Like, how do I open up, you know? Like, what do you start talking about? It's not like you're going to be like, hey, well, like, tell me about your life story, like, from the bat.
That's why it's difficult.
It was like I found myself a little confused as to how to socialize with Finnish people, and
I think
I'm not sure I still know.
I think it's more difficult to start talking to, like, meet randomly a Finnish person unless you are in a bar. Then you meet a Finnish person.
That's a
proper
different.
Truth. But that's the point. Like, you just don't. It doesn't happen that often that you just talk to people on the bus or on the street.
No. I mean, that's not what I'm expecting. I'm talking about like classmates. You know?
I know.
Yeah.
But like, I guess just the Finnish is just a bit different.
It is very different, and I think that's one thing I just was never able to get used to. And I always thought it was the language barrier because I don't speak Finnish. Yeah. You do, and you still feel that. So it's like maybe it's not the language.
Yeah, I think it depends. It depends. Like, it depends who you meet, and it depends where you meet them and everything. So I guess that's a lot about it. But you should be aware of this. Oh, one more thing I want to say. I like that they follow rules. Sometimes it's a bit annoying.
That's true, yes.
In most of the countries, when there are some rules and you, like, for example, forget your student card, you go to lunch and they're like, oh, well, okay, you're fine. But here it's like, no. Yeah. You're not allowed. You will pay the, like, high price.
It's pretty black and white, which is, like, puts things in order.
Yeah, I like that. It might get annoying. Yeah, at some points like these, as I mentioned with the student card, it gets annoying and you're like, come on, just be human.
Yeah, you know that it's reliable. The system is reliable, the people are reliable, and that's in fact another thing they're known for is their trustworthiness and honesty. So in that sense, I feel completely comfortable and at ease.
Definitely. And safe as well.
And totally safe. Yeah. In fact, there was an article that listed Finland as one of the most the safest countries in the world. So and we definitely feel that. So that fact
it's amazing. True. And I would just want to say with these sort of stuff that, like, follow the rules is that
in that sense,
I mean.
yes.
Because I feel like then it hurts me because I'm trying to follow the rules and I'm trying to be good, like, well, sort of citizen, but like a person who lives here. I'm trying to follow their rules to be accepted. But there are some foreigners that don't do it, and then there's the whole creation of a bad name for all of us foreigners because of these few individuals, which is just disappointing, and I always get so angry with that. I must
say, though, they do set a very high standard for what should be done, which is good.
Anything like super bad things.
Super bad?
Like, you know, don't move here because... we covered maybe a bit of that already.
And we will cover in depth. The one thing I'm thinking of is the climate. It's probably an obvious one. If you don't like the cold, like really don't like it, this place is not for you.
Yeah, definitely.
So
it can get easily to minus 30 and just don't come if you suffer in winter.
Yeah.
I don't think that...
No, it's not a good place for people who don't like winter. And the darkness, because the darkness is really no joke. On top of the winter and the, like, blistering cold, it will be dark and will be dark for a very, very long time.
So you should just kind of embrace yourself. If you're really moving here, expect that, and please ask people who moved here before for advices regarding these things, because I feel that, like, and that's what we want to as well tackle here, to like kind of give you the idea of what it is like, and what to expect and what you should do and how you should buy clothes.
And again, this is completely our own experience. Yeah. And we could only speak on our own experience. We don't know. Someone might have a completely different experience, and you might have a completely different experience. So this is, like, take it with a grain of salt. This is what we've experienced. Definitely. There are many other right ways to live in Finland. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, well, this is fun. It was nice to, like, reflect on our first impressions.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully it will be useful.
Yeah.
to use.
Or just like give
somehow.
give a little snapshot of what Finland might be like for you when you first come here.
Exactly. Okay. Have a nice day.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.